The East African Business Council and the Private Sector Alliance are seeking to have a common East African community vaccination certificate as means of reducing the cost of trade in the region. This is one of the main issues that the EABC and Kepsa raised in a roundtable meeting featuring private sector bodies drawn from East Africa, including South Sudan. Here's Alex Mwangi with that story.
As countries continue to determine the way forward following the economic slowdown brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic, the issue of the ease of movement of persons across borders has become a particularly critical lever towards the acceleration of economic activity. The East African Business Council and the Kenya Private Sector Alliance are now calling on the region to adopt a common East African Community Vaccination Certificate.
We're looking at what EU is doing and trying to see how did they do it so that we can do the same. So we'll work on the mechanisms and see if we can engage the ministers of health in the countries, but also EABC does have a direct interaction with EAC. So EABC will take that to EAC, which can be discussed at the Council of Ministers, and also if it needs to go to the heads of states, then it can go there. But I think it's something that can be resolved at Council of Ministers.
Because the transaction cost is very high, and no one is benefiting from that. You know, it has become a ground for corruption.
A lot of our tourists go from country to country. So if they go to Tanzania, they want to come to Kenya. And so if they have to go to Tanzania, take a PCR test, then come to Kenya, take a PCR test. You know, go to Uganda, get a PCR test. Then it discourages that regional tourism, which is very good for the economies here.
EABC and Kepsa would also like the issue of non-tariff barriers addressed through a revival of the EAC Elimination of Non-Tariff Barriers Act of 2017.
Yeah, the act was there. It has been there, but it has been dormant. We want it to be reactivated. We want to ensure that we don't have just a matrix, what we call EAC time-bound matrix. We want private sector to read in terms of resolving and addressing those NTBs. So the mechanism is there, but it hasn't been working.
At the EABC National Focal Point Roundtable meeting that was held both physically at Kepsa's headquarters and virtually, the regional private sector bodies also discussed ways of uplifting small and medium enterprises, as well as exploiting the potential of the African Continental Free Trade Area. Alex